Okay, so now we're looking at some properties today for the upcoming auction in Bexar County. This is the first one here. This is there's 8 of them for sale at the Bexar County upcoming auction, which is a good month to have 8 houses up there for sale. These are the ones you really want to work. You want to go look at all these. You want to do your due diligence on them, and then you really want to go in there and try to win one of them. Out of 8 opportunities, there's a really good chance that we're going to be able to pick something up within the price range that we want to. This is the first one that we're looking at. If we go ahead and pan that camera around over there, this is on the south side of San Antonio. It's a nice brick 3-2 with a 2-car garage. There's some nice sized lots out here that these properties sit on. This house is valued at the county right now by $120, but really the market probably has this neighborhood for $180 to $220 depending on the square. Here is the next home. This is also in the south side of San Antonio. Good looking little home. I'll check the square footage and everything of it later, but it's probably a 3-1, 3-2. Looks like somebody's living in it now. Brush is overgrown. That banged up car, probably a renter. Maybe try to go talk with them here in a minute, see if we can get in, or maybe see if we can make them an offer. This is Hicks. It doesn't appear to have central AC. Has a detached garage in the back. Bunch of overgrown brush. Perma stone looks good. The exterior looks good for the most part. The roof looks okay as well too. Windows are dated, but they actually still function. Probably okay. Finger beam. That's all I know for now.
One.
So the rain has made a difficult day for inspecting properties. We will have to end the day, but we will commence looking at all the other properties over the weekend and get all our numbers in line for what we're going to bid on this upcoming month's property. So the weather did not cooperate today, but we are still going to get registered. So here's the Bexar County Sheriff's Office right there. Here's the main building here. What you'll do is go in through those doors there behind that tree, main doors. You'll then go around and through that black gate. You'll go walk down all the way over there, and right at that entrance, or right there, there's an entrance where you go in, press the button, show them your bidder certificate, ID, and then register down there. They then give you the number.
Back here, so it wouldn't get messed up in there when I move, you know, and it ruined the.
So, main home in the front measures 42 by 34. This is a back suite. We'll take measurements of this one. Pipes did freeze here. Roof leaks.
And then there's a washroom over there, as you can see where the floors. Like the floorboards are broken.
Yep, I see it. Yep. Okay, this is laundry, living, dining, and that's another bedroom back there. Is that right?
That's supposed to be the living room right there.
Gotcha.
Like the dining area.
One.
Okay, so the last house that you just saw us recording in, we were gonna try to pick it up directly from, you know, just make them an offer and pick it up directly from them. After speaking with the lady,
take exit 150B towards Simpson Airport, Texas 13 loop.
That's a very complicated deal because there's a lot of parties involved that have ownership to that property. One of them's in prison, one of them they can't find, the other one they don't like each other, all this BS. Sometimes it's better to allow these properties to go to auction. That way you're not dealing with all that bullshit and red tape. Even if we had to go through all that, we don't have enough time right now to even get it to title and clear all that up before, you know, the next 10 days. So on this one, we're just going to let it go to auction. And sometimes it is better to allow these properties to go to auction. This is one instance where it is. There are other situations as well where it's better to let it go to auction. If you'd like to know those, DM me, subscribe to the channel, request information. You know what to do. Alright, so here we are at another property in Bexar County. We're looking at this one. This one appears to be a duplex. It has 2 doors in front. Looks like they may have had it set up as a duplex. Don't really know. You know, what we're going to do though is we take a good look at the siding, count up the windows, we measure up the roof. We try to look at everything we can on the exterior, get a good assessment of what rehab costs would be for the exterior. Try to look at the foundation if we can. This is pier and beam, so it's good for us. We can actually see all the piers, the beams. We can look at the plumbing. We can do those things. if we can get in the property, we always try to get in the property. So we'll see here in a minute whether we can. Then we can get our full cost up. So we do this on all the houses, and you're gonna have to do this on all the houses. And you may spend hours doing this and you may not get the property you want, but it's a part of the process and it must be done if you're really gonna work this game and really, really wanna maximize how you do this. That's it. Looky what we have there. Now this next part of the video I cannot shoot, but I'll allow you to assume what we do next. Okay, so we've looked at all the properties for the upcoming auction here in Bexar County.
Continue on County Road 777 for 1.5 miles.
September auction. It's my birthday month, baby, so it's going to be a good one. But, you know, so of the 8 properties we saw, the 8 houses we saw, 2 of them were already demoed out, okay? So whatever you see on paper sometimes doesn't mean that that's what's always there. So please don't rely only what's on paper, just not what they're telling you, what Google Maps says, or what the appraisal district still has on file, because they get wrong sometimes, okay? And if they wrong and you're relying on them, you're gonna be real wrong with your money, okay? Because that's where you're gonna spend a shitload of money to buy something that does not even exist. So get your ass out to the site, make sure that you see the homes, because they may not be there, okay? They may have demoed them out already, and then you're just buying the land, and that'll really piss you off. So another thing too is you want to be able to inspect these properties. You want to be able to get in on them if you can, right? So you saw how we got in on one of them, and how we got in on another one is we made the lady an offer to buy the house right then and there, and by golly, we would have, had it not been so complicated. That was a complicated deal. So you always want to get in on the house. From the outside, that's easy. You can get on outside of these houses pretty easy. A lot of times they're not even occupied. If they are, you can still get a good evaluation of the outside and what it looks like from just driving by or being a creeper and just walking by several times back and forth. You can count up the windows. You can get an idea of how much siding surface area it is, what the roofing surface area is, right? You can get all this stuff. You can see if the leveling's bad a lot of times from just looking at the outside of a home. Can't always tell perfectly, but I mean, just looking from the outside, you can get a lot of information. Then other stuff like getting on the inside, that's where you got to get creative. You have to get creative to get inside homes, right? So whatever that means to you, but be creative. I'll tell you ways later. But, you know, so one of them today was, you know, obviously we got in on one, and then the other one, we told the lady we'd make her an offer, but we needed to look at the home. That got us into the home, and that was the best one, because you actually get to see the property. You get to see the kitchen, see what rehab works.
In a quarter mile, slight left.
Measurements, get a real precise number. A lot of times you're just getting an estimate, right? An educated guess at most, based off square footage and what you can see on the outside. But usually we get in. Always try to get in by any means necessary. Okay. But
slight left.
That's another thing. That's why these inspection days are so important in what you do. And if you're going to do this, they do take time up, right? So it took us 2 days. Total amount of hours, probably like, I don't know, 6 hours running.
There's a 6-minute slowdown caused by a crash on I-35 north in 5 miles. You are still on the fastest
This
route.
one took us 2 days because we lost it because of the rain on day 1 and finished it here on day 2. But they're so important to what you do. Don't ever go to an auction without having looked at the properties. I don't care how good or how sweet the deal looks on paper. You can lose out money and it's never worth it. Not that much at least.
Continue on I-35 north for 31 miles.
Always get out and look at the properties. Most important thing I could ever tell you. Now there's more, but one of the most important things I could ever tell you.